The crisp autumn evening gave way to a soft murmuring wind that swept through the little town of Orchard Hill. Nestled amongst the golden-hued trees was an old, creaky barn, its red paint chipped and weathered by countless seasons. But inside this barn tonight was a buzz of excitement. The townsfolk had gathered for their annual fall festival, a beloved tradition where they would celebrate the season's bounty and share stories of years gone by. At the heart of the festivities was young Ellie, a spirited 12-year-old with a love for adventure. Her eyes sparkled with mischief, and her curly brown hair always seemed to be in a state of perpetual motion. Ellie's best friend, Sam, was the complete opposite. He was quiet, thoughtful, and never without a book in his hand. With his glasses perched on his nose, Sam often looked like he was deep in another world. Tonight, Ellie was excited because the festival would feature her favorite event, the old storyteller's tales. She tugged at Sam's sleeve, pulling him through the crowd. "Come on, Sam. We don't want to miss Mr. O'Reilly's stories," she explained. Sam adjusted his glasses and followed reluctantly. "You know, Ellie, some of his stories are pretty far-fetched," he said skeptically. Ellie grinned. "That's the fun of it. Let's just listen and see where his imagination takes us." They found a spot near the old wooden stage where Mr. O'Reilly, an elderly man with a long, white beard and twinkling blue eyes, was getting ready to begin. The townsfolk gathered around, sitting on hay bales and blankets, eager to hear what story would be spun tonight. Mr. O'Reilly began with a twinkle in his eye and a voice that seemed to carry the weight of many lifetimes. "Tonight, I'll tell you the tale of the enchanted apple," he said, holding up a shiny, red apple. "This is no ordinary apple, but one that holds a secret only the bravest can uncover." Ellie leaned in, her heart beating fast with anticipation. Mr. O'Reilly's voice wove the story of a young adventurer named Jack who stumbled upon an enchanted orchard. Each apple in the orchard could grant the person who found it one wish, but only if they could solve a riddle posed by the tree's guardian. Sam, despite his initial reluctance, was soon caught up in the tale. He listened intently as Mr. O'Reilly described Jack's trials and tribulations, the clever riddles, and the eventual discovery of a magical truth. The story concluded with a piece of wisdom. True courage comes not from the might of your arm or the sharpness of your mind, but from the depth of your heart. The crowd erupted in applause, and Mr. O'Reilly bowed with a humble smile. Ellie turned to Sam, her eyes wide with wonder. "Wasn't that amazing?" she said. Sam nodded, a rare grin spreading across his face. "Yeah, it really was. Maybe stories are worth listening to after all." As the festival continued into the night, Ellie and Sam knew they'd remember Mr. O'Reilly's tale long after the last leaf had fallen. The magic of the story had wrapped itself around their hearts, reminding them of the power of imagination and the courage that lies within.